used to say as it is Ashoka, but it is not Ashoka. This is, you can say, like Nakli Ashoka. Nakli Ashoka. It is one of the adulterant for Ashoka. It is one of the adulterant for Ashoka. As the Ashoka, Ashoka, that is the word meaning, see, Ashoka. Shoka means like Shahrukh or no, na Ashokaha. The Besonim is Shokanashana ityartaha. Shoko Ashmaditi na Shoka ityartaha. Like that they used to derive. Means one which overcomes the like the Shoka or grief. So that is, they used to say as Ashoka. In NMPB, that is the National Medicinal Plant Board, New Delhi. NMPB, National Medicinal Plant Board. Please remember this one. In the examinations, they have asked about NMPB. So NMPB is National Medicinal Plant Board, which is present or which is situated in New Delhi. And another one is FRLHT. FRLHT. That is Foundation for Revitalization of Local Health Traditions. Foundation for Revitalization of Local Health Traditions, FRLHT, which is situated in Bangalore. So these are two the samsthas. These two the samsthas, they used to say these are the two boards which are specifically they used to work for the plants. Okay, so these two boards in the 1999 to 2000, they used to give the data. So every year the requirement of Ashoka is around about 100 metric ton. 100 metric ton of Ashoka bark is required for to prepare the medicines. Means that much of utilities the peoples are using this drug. In 99 2000 they have given this data. There they used to say 100 metric ton is required Ashoka stem bark. Whereas in case of 2006 and 2007, the same the boards, there is NMPB board and FRLHT board, they have given the data about in 2006 and 2007, it is around about increased up to 500 metric ton. Every year the requirement of the stem bark of Ashoka is 500 metric ton in India only. And in 2011 and 12, they have given 1500 metric ton of the stem bark of Ashoka is required for preparation of the medicines. Means how much they are increasing. By every year, the utility of Ashoka is go on increasing. Means the patients or the persons suffering from the diseases where the drug is specifically indicated. As I have told, it is a woman-friendly drug. That is a Stri Priyaha. It is liked by women because so this drug is specifically indicated in case of the gynecological disorders. As the drug, the stem bark of Ashoka, which gives strength and tonic. So most of the gynecological, the doctors, the gynecologists, they used to prescribe. It is a common medicine. Along with the other medicines, it is one of the common medicine in all the prescriptions. They used to prescribe the preparations of Ashoka, as it is one of the best uterine tonic, which gives strength to the uterus, which corrects the imbalance of the menstrual periods, which is more useful in case of menorrhagia, metrorrhagia, leukorrhea, such type of diseases. So that's why it's called as woman-friendly drug. By curing many of the gynecological diseases, which gives the strength to the women. So that's why it is called as a woman-friendly drug. That's, they used to say, Stri Priyaha. Okay, so every year the utility of is go on increasing. So because of this, to fulfill this the need, what they are doing, so they are adding, they are substituting, or they are adulterating such type of drugs. Because of this increased the demand, nowadays the plant Ashoka, they are mentioning under red listed plant. It is one of the endangered plant, because as the utility is gone increasing, so it is considered under as one of the red listed plant. or nowadays it is considering as endangered species. As the plant, it is a native of Asia and South America. So in those places, this plant is naturally available. So it is commonly our native place is South Asia and Asia and South America. So there it is a native plant. Okay. So we'll see what in our the classical text in our Vedic period, what our acharyas what they have mentioned. We'll see one by one. So this is the plant of Kastadaru Polyanthiya longifolia. So this is not the real Ashoka. So in local names we used to call it as Nakli Ashoka. This is Kastadaru. Okay, Polyanthiya longifolia. So this is the real plant Ashoka. I will show the some other pictures. So this is the flowers of Ashoka. So here you can see in this slide the flower buds, the flowers, fruits, and the seeds of Ashoka. You can observe the stem plant. So all the parts, stem bark, seeds, stem, so all. Okay. So these are the natural plant Ashoka. This is what they are taking the stem bark. So this is the inflorescence. We used to call it as Corimbos inflorescence. Corimbos, it is Gucha Pushpa. Okay. This is the unripened fruit of Ashoka. So this is the ripened fruit that is dehiscent in nature. They used to open itself, and these are the seeds. So this is the stem bark of Ashoka, leaves, and the inflorescence. Okay, we'll see. So we are getting information in Vedic period. In Vedic period, a clear description is available around about the Ashoka in Atharva Parishishta. In Atharva Parishishta, we are getting information about Ashoka. For what purpose they are using, it is not mentioned, but the plant Ashoka they have mentioned in Atharva Parishishta. Okay, whereas Charaka described it under Vedana Stapana Mahakashaya. So in only one Mahakashaya Acharya Charaka mentioned. So what is meant by Vedana Stapana? So Vedana means we used to consider as a pain, as a sorrow, grief, is dukkha. But there is Vedana Stapana. What it means? Here, Chakradatta, he used to comment on the Charakas. There he used to say, Vedana Stapana Dravyas are those one which removes the Dukkhatmaka Vedana and does the sustains and does Stapana of the Sukhatmaka Vedana. That is Anukulakara Vedaniyam Sukam, Pratikulakara Vedaniyam Dukkham. So Pratikulakara Vedana, that one which removes, one which expels the Pratikulakara Vedana and does the Stapana of Pratikulakara Vedana. So sometimes if you are having very happy, so at that time also, so there will be tears will come. So that also, that is Pratikulakara. One which is good for us, that you can consider as Anukulakara. One which is not good for you, that you can say is Pratikulakara. So this is Vedana. Vedana means that is Anukulakara, Pratikulakara. That is Pratikulakara. One which is good for us, that type of, by curing the diseases, one which does Anukulakara Vedana, that is the Vedana Stapana, what Acharya Charaka says. So usually Vedana is the Pratyatmaka Lakshana of Vataruddhi. Whenever Vataruddhi is going to take place, definitely it is going to produce the Vedana. So Shula, Vedana, that is when the Ruddhi of Vata is going to take place. That's why they used to say it is a Pratyatmaka Lakshana, specific the symptom. Whenever the Vata Ruddhi is going to take place, definitely it is going to produce the Vedana. Okay, that is Anukulakara Vedana is Sukha, Pratikulakara Vedana is Dukkha. Okay, so what are the drugs which are mentioned under Vedana Stapana Mahakashaya? That is Shala, Katfala, Kadamba, Shala, Katfala, Kadamba, Padmaka, Tumbha, Sirisha, Vanjula, Elvaluka, Ashoka, iti dashamani वेदनास्थापनानि भवन्ति. शाला, कट्फला, kadamba, padmaka, padmaka, then tumbha, mocharasa, shirisha, vanjula, elvaluka, ashoka ini dashamani vedanasthapanani bhavanti. Shala, I think you have collected in Sirisi, you have seen that plant. And even Acharya Shushruta mentioned in the name itself, the name of the Gana has given Sala Sara di Gana. Okay, so in there also the first drug is Shala, that is Shoria robusta. Shala, Katfala. I think while discussing about Gambari, you come across this word, the fruits which resembles as like that of Katfala, Mairika Nagi, Katfala. Katfala is a synonym of Gambari also. Here, Katfala, it is not a Gambari we have to consider. Here, Mairika Nagi is the botanical source for Katfala. So that drug we have to consider here. As Vedana, that is the Vata Ruddhi Lakshana. So to overcome the condition, like the gunas, like as it is Ruksha Guna is there, Vata Ruddhi, Lagu Guna is there. Here, so the drugs which are going to use for Vedana Sthapana Dravyas, they are having Snigdha Gunatmaka. So in case of Shala, the Niryasa is we are going to use. The Niryasa which is having Snigdha Guna, Ushnavirya. So Snigdha Guna, Ushnavirya, which does the Shamana of Vata Ruddhi. The Vata Ruddhi is going to be comes down. That is, does the Shamana of the Vata Ruddhi because of its gunas. So these drugs, that is Shala, Katfala, Padanga, Kadamba, Padmaka, Tumbha, Mocharasa, Sirisha, Vanjula, Elvaluka. So what the drugs, what they have mentioned, they are almost Snigdha Gunatmaka, Ushnavirya. Okay. So because of its Ushnavirya, because of its Snigdha Guna, which comes down the Ruddhita Vata. So by that it is going to act like does the Vata Shamana and helpful in curing the diseases. Okay. So, and what Acharya Shushruta mentioned under Rudradigana. Acharya Shushruta mentioned it under Rudradigana. So almost Kashaya Shatmaka Dravas. Even the Kashaya Rasa, usually which does Vata Vardhana, but it may be a Guna or it may be a Virya, is Ushnavirya or Snigdha Guna or sometimes Mudra Vipaka. So because of these qualities which overcome the conditions called Vedana. Okay. Next, Rundha Madhava, for the first time it is indicated in case of Rakta Pradhara. So during Samhita period, no one, the Acharyas, it may be you can take Charaka, Shushruta, Vagbhata or Kashyapa, any the author if you take, even the Chakra, most of the authors, they have not mentioned the utility of Ashoka in case of, specifically in case of the gynecological disorders. So this is the first time Acharya Runda Madhava, he specifically indicated in case of Rakta Pradhara. So after Runda Madhava, so all the Acharyas, they have mentioned the utility of Ashoka in gynecological disorders. Okay, so it may be one of the Vaibhavasi question, or also you may get in the NEET examinations. The first time where in which context or who mentioned the utility of Ashoka in the gynecological disorders, that is Runda Madhava. Okay, so next we'll move to the basonym of Ashoka. The basonym of Ashoka is Na Shoko Asmat Shokanashana Ityartaha. See the word Na Shoko Asmat Shokanashana Ityartaha. One which does Nashana of what? Shoka. Na Shoko Asmat. Na Shoko Asmat. Shokanashana Ityartha. One which does, one which relieves from the Shoka. One which, that Shoka is because of Vedana. So one which overcomes the, that's Pratikulakara Vedana. Okay. So it relieves the pain and patients get relief from many health problems. By that, which cures the diseases. So by that, the person is having the happiness that it does this Stapana of Anukulakara. That is Anukulakara Vedhiniyam Sukam. Anukulakara Vedana it does by curing the many of the diseases. Okay. So na shoko asmat shokanashana ityartaha. That is the basonym of Ashoka. Next, the botanical name Saraka Ashoka. Saraka Ashoka is the botanical source. There is another botanical source is Saraca indica. See the Latin names. So Latin names, that is worldwide, it is commonly using these names. So Saraca, they have given the name in honor to a French physician. The word Saraca is given in honor to a French physician, that is Dr. Sarosin. Dr. Sarosin, in honor to him, they have given this name, Saraca. Ashoka is a Sanskrit word. Ashoka is a Sanskrit word. If you see the vernacular names of this plant, Ashoka, in any the Indian states, all the languages they are using with the same name, like Ashoka, Ashokam, but Ashoka is common. Okay, so all the in Indian languages, all the Indian languages they are using with the same name. Okay, Saraca, Ashoka. Saraca indica. Indica means of Indian origin. Of Indian origin. Okay. So this is the botanical name or the botanical source for Ashoka. Saraca Ashoka or Saraca indica. So sometimes in the Vaivavasi they used to ask, give an example for in which the species as Sanskrit names. The species as Sanskrit name. So Saraca Ashoka. In case of genus, Shalmalia mulberica, Datura metal, Nardastachis jatamamsi. So jatamamsi, that is the species which is comes under the Sanskrit names. So like that, you have to make a list where the genus as a Sanskrit name or the species as a Sanskrit names. Specifically, the detailed drugs. Okay, Saraca Ashoka. Ashoka is a Sanskrit name. Nardastachis jatamamsi. Phyllanthus embellica. Phyllanthus embellica. That is, embellica is derived from the Sanskrit word amblika. Okay, like that. So, what are the Sanskrit names as a genus or as a species? Okay, so this is about the botanical source. Next, we'll move to the family. So, Acharyas, there is the botanist, they have considered under by observing the characters of which resemblance as like that of Fabaceae family. So already I have mentioned most of the textbook they have quoted as an even Leguminosae family or Caesalpinaceae family. There is Caesalpinaceae, it is a subfamily, comes under Fabaceae family. So Fabaceae family includes 3 subfamilies, that is Caesalpinaceae, Papulinaceae and Mimosaceae. Caesalpinaceae, Papulinaceae, Mimosaceae. So Caesalpinaceae you can say as a subfamily. Caesalpinaceae you can call as subfamily. That is in Sanskrit, we used to call it as Putikaranja Kula. Caesalpinaceae family, you can say Putikaranja Kula. Fabaceae is Simbicula. Okay, so it is one of the biggest family. There are so many plants which are mentioned under Fabaceae family in your syllabus. There is a detailed drugs, non-detailed drugs. Around about 20 to 30 drugs are there which comes under Fabaceae family. Okay. Next, we will move to the vernacular names. Vernacular names like Ashoka, Ashoka tree, Ashoka, almost all the vernacular, all the languages of India, you can see with the same Ashoka. Okay. It is according to Charaka, Vedanastapana Mahakashaya, that already I have discussed. Anukulakara Vedaniyam, Sukham, Pratikulakara Vedaniyam, Dukkham. That is, he used to say, Vedanayam Sambhutayam Tam Nihatya Shariram Prakrutau Stapayati iti Vedanastapanam. Vedanayam Sambhutayam Tam Nihatya Shariram Prakrutau Stapayati. By curing, by removing the Vedana which does the Stapana of the Prakruta Sharira. That is Chakrapani, he used to comment on Charaka Sutrasthana 4th chapter, that is Shadvirajana Shatasriti Adhyaya. Okay, by doing, by removing the Pratikulakara Vedana, one which does the Stapana of the Anukulakara Vedana. That is called Vedana Stapana. The Vedana Stapana Dravyas are Shala, Katfala, Kadamba, Padmaka, Tumbha, Mocharasa, Shirisha, Vanjula, Elvaluka, Ashoka. So the last drug in Vedana Stapana Mahakashaya is Ashoka. So please remember, the last drug in Vedana Stapana Mahakashaya is Ashoka. Then according to Shishwata, it is mentioned under Rodradighana. Okay. So next we'll move to the synonyms of Ashoka. So based on the leaves, it is having the synonym as Tambra Pallava. Please remember Tambra Pallava. So many times they've asked in the examination, write the basionym of Ashoka. They used to give with another name is there, the synonym of Ashoka, that is Stri Priyaha. Why I have called it is a women friendly. That is because it is having the synonym as Stri Priyaha. Okay, so Tambra Pallava or Stri Priyaha, these two synonyms they used to ask for write the basionym of Ashoka. Okay, so Tambra Pallava, there is Tambra Varnaha Pallava Asya. So Pallava means that is Pancha Pallava. That is Pallava means tender leaves. It is a combination of 5 types of the tender leaves. They are Pancha Pallava. But here Pallava means tender leaves. Tender leaves. That those leaves are having coppery red in color. Tambra Varnaha. Tambra Varnaha Pallava Asyaha. That is Tambra Pallava. The tender leaves are copper red in color. Okay. Next, Gandha Pushpaha. So most of the synonyms are based on the flower. Flowers are also. So Gandha Pushpa, Sugandhi Pushpatvat. The flowers are having aromatic in nature. Sugandhi Pushpatvat, Gandha Pushpa. The flowers are having aromatic in nature. Pinda Pushpaha. How it looks? Pinda Pushpaha. That is Pindakaraha Saganaha. So because the flowers are clustered, they are grouped. It looks like usually flowers are smooth, but somewhat it is hard. When the whole flowers, if you hold, it becomes somewhat like a hard. Saganaha. That is Pindakaraha Saganaha. That is, it comes under botanically we used to call it Corimbos raceme inflorescence. Corimbos raceme inflorescence. I will show the pictures. At that time you will come to know what is Corimbos. So Pinda Pushpaha, Pindakaraha Saganaha Pushpaguchai Asya. Pushpagucha Asya. That is flowers are clustered. That is Pinda Pushpa. Madhu Pushpaha. Madhu Pushpaha, that is the flowering season. As in case of Amalaki, you come to know about the synonym of Amalaki based on the fruiting season. That is Tishyaphala. So during Pushyamasa, the fruiting will occur. In the same way, Madhu Pushpaha. That is Madhau Vasante Pushpayati. During Vasanta Rutu, the flowering will occur. Madhu Pushpaha. Madhu Pushpaha, Madhau Vasante Pushpayati. That is flowering will occur during Vasanta Rutu. Okay. So next we'll see based on the color of the flowers. Hema Pushpaha. Hema Pushpaha. Swarnabhani Pushpanyashaha. Swarnabhani Pushpanyashaha. The color of the flowers are golden yellowish in color. The color of the flowers is golden yellowish in color. That is Hema Pushpa. So based on the color of the flowers. So based on the flowering season, that is Madhu Pushpaha. Based on the clustering nature, that is Pinda Pushpaha. Based on this aromatic nature, Gandha Pushpaha. Okay, so there are 3 to 4 synonyms based on the flowers. Next, based on its utility, that is Stri Priyaha. So please remember this synonym, Stri Priyaha. Strinam Priyaha, Stri Rogeshu Hitatvat. Because it is good or it is very, very useful in treating the gynecological conditions. Stri Rogeshu. It is good in case of Hitatvat. Hita, that is good for to treat the Vyadis, by curing the Vyadis which will overcome the conditions. That is Stri Rogas. Strinam Priyaha, Stri Rogeshu Hitatvat. That is called Stri Priyaha, based on karma. Kankheli. Kam Sukam Kelati Janayati Ahladakaraha. By curing the diseases which gives pleasantness. Ahladakaraha. Kam Sukam. One which gives, that is Sukha. That is Anukulakara Sukha, not Pratikulakara Sukha. Kam Sukam Kelati Janayati Ahladakaraha. By curing many of the diseases, one which gives the pleasantness. That is called as Kankheli. Okay. So these are the some of the synonyms of Ashoka. So based on the leaves, Tambra Pallava. Based on the leaves, Tambra Pallava. Based on the flowering season, Madhu Pushpa. Based on the flowers, that is older Gandha Pushpaha, based on the cluster Gocha Pushpaha, and based on the color Hema Pushpa, based on the actions Stri Priyaha. Okay, so these are the some of the synonyms of Ashoka. Next we'll move to the Swarupa. So in this picture, in this slide, you can observe it is having single trunk. So this is the main trunk. So definitely you can say the Swarupa is Ruksha. Swarupa is Ruksha. So this you can observe the plant Swarupa. It is a Ruksha. So this is a small plant. So this is about leaf. So as you are observing, so this is the primary rachis, or you can say like the primary pinna. So over this, so these are called the leaflets. Okay, so there is no axillary bud here. So this whole, the green expanded part is called as the lamina. So this lamina is dissected and divided and forms separate leaflets and is having the individual, the petiolule, individual petiolule is having. So based on this character, we used to say it is an compound leaves, but only it is the only primary pinna is there. Over that, the leaflets are arranged and it ends with the even number of leaflets. It ends with the even number of leaflets. That is, it ends with 2 leaflets. That means staripinnately unipinnate compound leaves. The type of leaf is staripinnately unipinnate compound leaves. Okay. Next, number of the leaflets. So number of leaflet is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So usually 4 to 6 pair of leaflets are arranged. 4 to 6 pairs of leaflets will be present. The arrangement of leaflet is arrangement of leaflet, not the leaf. Here, what you are observing in this picture, only the arrangement of leaflets. So arrangement of leaflet is opposite. Arrangement of leaflet is opposite. And the size of the leaf, so this considered as one leaf. Okay, so the size of the leaf is approximately, you can say 15 to 30 centimeter in length. Approximately 15 to 30 centimeter, the whole, the green expanded part, not the leaflet. The whole leaf is approximately 15 to 30 centimeter in length. And next we'll move to the leaflets. Okay, so number of leaflet is 4 to 6 pairs, and the shape of the leaflet. Shape of the leaflet. So this is the margins of the lamina. This is the upper margin. This is the lower margin. The margins of the lamina is almost parallel. So based on this character, we used to say as oblong. Based on the margins of the lamina, if the margins of the lamina is parallel, so we used to say as oblong. And length will be, the length of the lamina will be more compared to the width. So width, the 2 to 3 times longer than its width. 2 to 3 times more than its width. The length will be more. So based on this character, we used to say lanceolate. So the shape of the lamina is oblong lanceolate. Oblong lanceolate. And the margins of the lamina is entire. And if you observe the apex is acute apex. The apex is acute. And the petiolule, here you can observe the petiolule, it is very small petiolule, and sometimes you can say even subsessile. So in the textbook they have given approximately around about 4 to 6 millimeter petiolule. Petiolule is around about 4 to 6 millimeter. Okay. Next we'll see another picture. So this is the lower surface of this one leaf. That is the upper surface what you seen. So here you can see the lower surface of the leaf. So this, in this picture you can clearly observe about the small petiolule, the stalk of the leaflet, that is, you can say petiolule is, it is very small, approximately they used to say 4 to 6 millimeter in length, 4 to 6 millimeter. And the leaves are glabrous. Totally, the leaves are glabrous, completely absence of the hairs. Okay. So next, so in this this is another the picture about the leaf, compound leaf. Here you can observe. Sorry. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 pairs are there. So usually 4 to 6 pair of leaflets will be present. As it ends with the 2 pairs, that is one pair of leaflets. That is 2 leaflets. The terminal leaflets are 2 in number. If it is 1, it is called imparipinnately unipinnate compound leaves. But it ends with the 2 leaflets. That's why we used to call it as a peripinnately unipinnate compound leaves. Okay. So next we'll move to. So what Acharya says, Tambra Pallava, based on the leaves. See, the young leaves, the tender leaves are, coppery red in color. So this is this leaf is called somewhat coppery red in color. That's why they used to call it as Tambra Pallava. Because of this nature, they used to call it as Tambra Pallava. Okay, coppery red in color. So this is another picture, another slide, which shows about the coppery red color, leaf, that is Tambra Pallava. Okay. Next, we'll see about the inflorescence. This is actually the stem bark. Stem, the main trunk of Ashoka plant. So over the stem, you can observe the cluster of the flowers. So these pictures are the flowers. So this is the flower bud. So all are, this is the inflorescence. Okay. So this is the main trunk of Ashoka. So the color,